Welcome to the 1990 series. My name's Amanda O'Shea, the Loving Life Coach from the Serendipity Experience. And I have with me today the gorgeous Jai Sear, who is from Calgary in Canada, but is living here in Javea, Costa Blanca, Spain. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing?
Thank you. Thank you.
It's so nice to have you as part of this 1990 series. We have met when you really helped me out when I had a bad back problem, and I was recommended you for years actually to come and experience the magical hands of Mr. Jai by my chiropractor, and it truly was. So I thank you for all the love and the the love and warmth that you bring to your work. I see that it's so much more than just a hands-on, and there was really, for me, there was really sort of powerful connection that you bring to your work. So I know that you do massage, and I know you do shiatsu, and I know that you teach mindfulness and you teach Tai Chi, and we're going to talk about the magic of being present today. No finer man to have that conversation with. But, Jai, what else do you do? What else? I know that you're up to, I know that you're studying at the moment. You're always doing something and traveling and going somewhere exotic. Would you just let us know what you're up to as well?
Yeah. I mean, the two main focuses in my life right now are, I would say, Tai Chi. I just spent another 2 months in China training in Tai Chi again. I typically go every year, which is amazing to go there to do it. And the second thing I'm doing is I'm trying to find time to finish I started a PhD and doctorate in natural medicine about 4 years ago. I'm still working on getting it finished. And it's, when we say natural medicine, the idea is not natural medicine in the sense like naturopathy, where we're using Western medicine model, where we're looking for things outside of our body to help us heal. So for example, in Western medicine, we have a pill. In naturopathy, we would have maybe herbs or something. The PhD and doctorate I'm doing is more focused on the mind and the body, and how, through our patterns and habits and the way we are in the world, we're epigenetically creating our health or our illnesses. And so by becoming more aware of our patterns, our personalities, our thoughts, our thought processes, we can then get into a stream of change and fix our health by evolving ourselves as people. And so the university I go to is trying to take this concept and build it into a scientific model so that it will be accepted more by the Western medical system.
Wow, I love that. It does seem like people are trying. We from a little way, even the universities. It seems that we have to always come like secretly under the cover, and we have to kind of put it into form that's going to be accepted.
Exactly.
Until they see that. I don't know what we call spirituality and what they call science is all really. It's all very similar. It's like they're trying to prove. I don't know. They're trying to prove something that's. There's just a bit of confusion there. Right? There's just a bit of confusion.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you can see that it works, but we can't give an explanation, maybe chemically or something, and so therefore we don't. When I say we, I'm talking about regular kind of medical society, but so yeah, you're right. We have to put some sort of form to it and prove it over and over again before we'll do it. But
and that is so. We're going to talk about the magic of being present, and I'm excited. I see, in respect to what you've just mentioned, there is something it's so interesting for me that the human mind needs proof.
Yeah.
So what I see is that we create a lot of stories, and I also, like you, spend a lot of time talking about how our thinking system works, how all we ever are doing actually is experiencing thought in the moment. That's all really happening, and that has such an amazing power. Instruct our brain that gets to instruct our body. Like, it's pretty, I think when you understand how that works,
Yeah.
you know, you're not looking for proof. You're just so in awe of how
Yeah.
the system was created. All the systems, right?
Yeah.
So the physiological systems, the psychological systems, and we get to enjoy it more. We're not trying to prove, because that's, you know, that's like so much more thinking on the proving,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. The busyness, right? The confusion.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, it's all too much, but actually, it's simple.
It's simple. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so you know, I see how I see the magic of being present, but I'd love to hear from you what
Yeah.
you chose this title, and have you seen something like recently or from your work, or
Yeah.
tell us what you see the magic of.
You know, when I started teaching Tai Chi more, because the way that my work was modeled in the past, it was more therapies and more coaching, more working directly one-on-one, more working with people who come to me with a challenge or a problem, and they say, you know, I'm like this, I want to be like that, or I have this problem, my life would be better if I'm like that. And I worked with people, you know, whether it be something physically in their body or maybe some other type of challenge with their way of being. And you've been a coach for a long time too, and so you'll know the experiences. You know, sometimes people can move on that path to where they want to get to, and some people, you know, take a couple steps and then maybe that's enough for them in that moment. And it's a nice process to work with people. The amazing thing that I saw was when I started teaching Tai Chi is all these people came to Tai Chi, and although they had this idea that they wanted to, you know, maybe they wanted to improve their balance or something, they came with fairly simple goals. And the amazing thing is when you watch a group of people over a year practice something like Tai Chi, you know, they're learning mindfulness. They don't know it. I don't talk a lot about it in class. And so they're developing these skills to be present in their life. They're developing these skills to connect more with their body. And I do talk about it in class a little bit. And the amazing thing is that without really trying too hard, I see this massive evolution in all my people. And I see this evolution with them as individuals. You know, I have people in my class that, you know, come in. There's a lady who came in last year, and, you know, she had to kind of make a statement that to her family, you know, I'm going to do Tai Chi. And they were all shocked because she's very shy and quiet. And now after a year, she's one of the most confident people in the class, and nothing else has changed. She's just came in and she does Tai Chi with me twice a week. And there's magic happening behind this process of people just becoming more present, more connected. And it's amazing.
It is amazing, and
Yeah.
well, I can't think anything better than. I know that you work. You've got a couple of studios and things that you work, but you know, having experienced Tai Chi, and I struggle with
Yeah.
being quiet in Tai Chi, but you know, down on the water's edge on a Sunday morning, you know,
Yeah.
feet in the water, feet in the sand,
Yeah.
the Tai Chi. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, and you know, having watching you. I mean, what more do people want on a Sunday morning?
Yeah.
Amazing setup. But so I understand, for me personally, I'm quite lively. That's the character of Amanda. So
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
doing something like Tai Chi, it feels like, oh, it's all a bit lovely. And I see the gift in it, and I like the idea of it. But
Yeah.
I really see my distracting thoughts play out
Yeah.
there. So that's interesting. But what I have seen like that, like what you said, when something happens, when we touch that like sacred space, be it of whatever you want to call it, the silence, the nothing,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
what's behind all the stories, what's behind all the creation, when we touch that space for a teeny second or whatever it is, it's enough. It's the trampoline to
Yeah.
bounce us back into this presence that we have in our human experience, in our human reality, with the gift of full potential again. There's something happens. I can only talk for myself. I can't talk.
Yeah.
When I'm
Yeah.
in that space again, just for a very short period of time, the story of Amanda collapses. The story of who I think I am, and all, well, basically thinking kind of
Yeah.
for a moment. I mean, thinking never stops. So even the thinking about this is happening, but thinking slows down a little bit or whatever. The appearance of slowing down stops, and then when the story collapses, when the Amanda collapses, I think we all our innate, natural resources like resilience and that inner strength and creativity and gratitude and abundance, it leaps back out because it's got a clean, like it's got space.
It's got like a clean path out. Yeah.
So it is like that. I talk a lot about people being their own creator of their own reality, people being the artist, of their, the picture. They're the ones with the paints and the crayons, and if we were to go and draw a piece of art over another piece of art, that would be a very different picture than drawing a piece of art on a blank canvas.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is beautiful, art on art on art on art.
Yeah.
That's a different thing, right?
Yeah.
But I think something happens for me in that space, whether I'm just hanging out my washing, whether I'm at Tai Chi with my feet in the sand, whether I'm on top of a mountain, or whether I'm driving the car or in the shower or wherever it is that insight happens for me, or that getting quiet inside happens for me.
Yeah.
Is that I hit that spot where I remember, oh yeah, I'm making all the other stuff up. Okay, what is, so it's like it's like a place of rest and repair in a mini second that brings me home to where I am, So I don't know how you see it for yourself, Jay. Like, does that make sense? What I'm even pointing?
It makes absolute sense. I mean, we go back and we touch source, and then we come back with the feeling of it. And I think that's one of the reasons why Tai Chi is so powerful, is because Tai Chi can't be a mental thing. It's very difficult to be successful at Tai Chi if you're approaching it with your mind. We need the mind to help understand, the structures that we make and the postures that we make. We need that. But in the end, Tai Chi is about a feeling. It's about feeling your whole body connected, being present in your body. And so I think when we go back to that place, there's no words for it. It's a feeling, it's a sensation. And so when you, because I think maybe sometimes someone can get there, but when we don't have a great connection with our body and a great connection with this sense of yourself, or the sense of maybe your intuition or something, the sense of your energy, the sense of who you are, then we can lose it. It can become more mental, and it's like trying to describe what love feels like. You can use words, but you'll never be able to describe what it feels like. And I think it's the same thing. And so when we go back and we touch that place and we're very present with it, it's amazing. Like, one of my favorite parts of Tai Chi is all my classes are a little bit different, but almost every class will do a sequence where we'll do a standing meditation for a few moments, maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes, get everybody kind of tuned in. Because before that, it's quite mental. We're trying to show them the proper posture for the hands and whatnot. And then we switch into this other mode, and we'll stay in the standing meditation for a few moments. And then without speaking, we'll move directly, and we'll do, in Tai Chi, if I know, but for those who don't, there's typically a series of movements that have been choreographed together, and you go through that sequence. And so then we'll move into the sequence, and we'll do it, say, 3 times without speaking. And if I could take a picture of everyone's face before we do that and after we do that, it's amazing. It changes dramatically. It's really cool. And everybody walks out, and sometimes people walk out and, and the look on their face is kind of like, where am I? What just happened? It's like they're trying to figure out what's going on again. And I think it's that moment maybe where their stories are starting back up, they're starting to ground themselves back in the story of the life that they've created. But for a moment, they're not there. It's really neat.
And that is all that, for me anyway, those magical moments, are what yeah, that for me is falling in love, you know.
Yeah.
So I can fall in love again with the nature, with, you know,
Exactly.
with a human being, but you can fall in love literally with the Tai Chi class. You can fall in love with the with the tree, with the apple, with the with the fruit, with the dog, with the whatever. You know, it's falling in love with yourself, falling in love with the creation, falling in love with life.
Yeah.
And I think you do a really good job, it would appear to me, pointing people in that direction. So
Yeah.
I've missed you and your lovely massages, and you've been.
Yeah.
I'll have to book one in really soon.
Yes. Yeah. Do it.
Because you bring a presence, okay? So you bring that presence to, whether it's to the massage table or to the class, that is very infectious and is very contagious. And I call it the love virus, you know. It's kind of like a little love, you know. It's nice, and because it's something that when somebody shows up with their presence, it just feels good.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It feels good. So, Jay, thank you for being part of the 1990 series, and thank you for the beautiful energy and presence that you bring to our community here in Javea. And it's a blustery day here today. So
yeah.
I don't know if many people will be dipping their toes in that sea today. But
no, not today.
But there's a few brave ones out there all the time. But I'm going to just see you when I've next booked a session, I'm sure. And thank you, and thank you everybody for listening. And I hope that you experience the magic of being present sometime today. Lots of love to all. Bye. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, everybody.